Hello, this is Susan Duclos with All News Pipeline. It's January 30th, 2017. What we're looking at is Donald Trump's contract with the American voter, which he published in, I believe, late October. It was a guideline, a contract that he made promises of what would be his 100-day action plan to make America great again. Now, I wasn't going to go over this until his 100 days was up, but I did an article this morning where I embedded this into the article and I realized exactly how much of his 100-day action plan he's already done in just his first week and a few days. So, let's go over a few things. We're going to skip over the ones he hasn't done yet and just show you how much he has done because he still has quite quite a few weeks left before he even said he would finish it all. So we're going to go to the second one because I think I have all these in order with his presidential memorandums and executive orders. And the second one is a hiring freeze on all federal employees to reduce the federal workforce through attrition, exempting the military, public safety, and public health. So if we go over to the White House website, we, under his presidential executive orders and memorandums, we will see that on January 25th, 2017, he did in fact put out a memorandum, immediate actions, and initial guidance for federal civilian hiring freeze. So that's one. Let's go on to the next one. We see that there would be a requirement that for every new federal regulation, two existing regulations must be eliminated, sorry. And that he didn't do all these in order. That one actually, I believe, came out today. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the website for the White House on that too. Yes, it was dated January 30th, 2017, which is today, and it is the presidential executive order on reducing regulation and controlling regulatory costs. And as you can see, he is doing exactly what he said he was going to do for every new regulation to have to be gotten rid of. Toward that end, it is important that for every one new regulation issued, at least two prior regulations be identified for elimination and that the cost of planned regulations be prudently managed and controlled through a budgeting process. So, again, another promise being kept. The next two, listed as fourth and fifth under the 6 measures to clean up the corruption and special interest collusion in Washington, D.C., is a 5-year ban on White House and congressional officials becoming lobbyists after they leave the government service, and a lifetime ban on White House officials lobbying on behalf of foreign government. And then the sixth one, a complete ban on foreign lobbyists raising money for American elections. Now, he basically covered those in one presidential action, which we'll go to on the White House website. This one was done on January 28th, 2017, and again, it's the executive order, ethics commitments by executive branch appointees. I will go ahead and list all of these in the details, the links to these executive orders, and I'll also link to the article that I put out today, which has his contract with the American voter embedded in it so you can read all of this for yourself. Now, according to this, he covers the 5-year ban. He also covers the 2-year ban. He also covers in this lobbyists working for foreign entities after they have been part of his White House or as one of their employees. So he basically covered all three of those in this one executive order. Let's check out the next one. In the next section, the actions, 7 actions to protect American workers. He has already announced his intention to renegotiate NAFTA. We've seen a lot of articles on that. Some say that there has been mention of it in his memorandums, but I don't think they've done the renegotiation yet, but I do know other countries have, once he was elected, agreed to renegotiate. And second, he said he will announce the withdrawal from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, otherwise known as TPP, and we do have an action on that. That one was done on January 23rd, 2017, presidential memorandum regarding withdrawal of the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership negotiations and agreement. So that one was done pretty much immediately. I believe it's only 3 days after he was inaugurated, so he got right to work on Monday. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now the fifth and the sixth one, lifting restrictions on the production of $50 trillion worth of job producing American energy reserves, including shale oil, natural gas, and clean coal. And number six, to lift the Obama Clinton roadblocks and allow vital energy infrastructure projects like Keystone Pipeline to move forward. Now, he's got a number of actions out on that, so we're just going to go to the White House page and show them rather than opening up each one. Four, presidential memorandums and one executive order. Top one on all of these, I believe, were on January 24th. Yes, the first one was the presidential memorandums streamlining, permitting and reducing regulatory burdens for domestic manufacturing. One regarding construction of the American pipelines. One regarding the construction specifically of Dakota Access Pipeline, one regarding the construction of the Keystone Pipeline, and the last one was an executive order expediting environmental reviews and approvals for high priority infrastructure projects. Now, this next one is interesting. While he hasn't canceled the billions in payments to the UN climate change programs and the use of money to fix America's water and environment infrastructure, he has taken the climate page that was part of Obama's White House website totally down, and he has already taken a number of actions, done interviews. He's working on that, and it is part of one of those others that I just showed you. He's sort of mixing and matching here, but it seems that he is addressing that already. And what's very interesting is that he mentioned the UN. I did an article the other day. Nikki Haley, outside of the UN, made some very, very interesting statements. She basically put the UN and our allies on notice. So let's go over to that one real quick and then we'll get back to this contract. I'll go ahead and put a link to this in there too because I have Nikki Haley's talk with reporters outside of the UN embedded in here, and it's very interesting to listen to her. She said that our goal with the administration is to show value at the UN, and the way to show value is to show our strength, show our full voice, have the backs of our allies, and make sure our allies have our backs as well. And then she came out with, for those that don't have our back, we're taking names and we will make points to respond accordingly. She also finished up by saying there is a new US UN and you're going to see a change in the way that we do business. For those who do not appreciate the UN's determination to order everybody around and to put everybody else's best interest above our own, not to mention the fact that, as you will see, I have links in this to show you that we are the main contributors to the UN. It's very interesting that they're taking the hard line that they are taking with the UN. So again, I'll put the link there to that. Under the 5 actions to restore security in the constitutional rule of law, number 2, begin the process of selecting a replacement for Justice Scalia from one of 20 judges on my list to uphold and defend the U.S. Constitution. There have been reports out that he had it narrowed down to, I think it was 3 people. And there were other reports saying that this Thursday he was supposed to announce it, but he tweeted that he's going to be doing it on Tuesday, tomorrow. There's the tweet. He put that out this morning, 6:43 a.m. I've made my decision on who I will nominate for the United States Supreme Court. It'll be announced live on Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. from the White House. So, interestingly enough, once again, he bypassed the media on this. I saw a CNN story about it, and rather than, oh, sources tell us or this, they actually had to report the news that they found out, noting that they found out by his tweet. Once again, he's going directly to the American people and bypassing the mainstream media most of the time. And this is only a good thing because while they can give their opinions and while they can create their fake news all they want, if it's out there to the people first, there's not so much spin they can do when they're actually reporting on the announcement itself. And that's a smart thing on his part because we've all seen how they've been since before the election, after the election, all the way into his presidency here. Next up is his third one under the 5 actions to restore security and the constitutional rule of law. Cancel all federal funding to sanctuary cities. Begin removing the more than 2 million criminal illegal immigrants from the country and cancel visas to foreign countries that won't take them back. So we have two executive orders here or memorandums to take a look at. Let's go over to the White House website for a second. Both of those goals or promises that are in the contract are covered in two executive orders here. One, enhancing public safety in the interior of the United States, and the other is border security and immigration enforcement improvements. So he's kept those promises as well. Last but not least, we have the fifth, suspend immigration from terror-prone regions where vetting cannot safely occur. All vetting of the people coming into our country will be considered extreme vetting. This is the big one. This is the one that has had people protesting at airports throughout the weekend here. This is the one that made Chuck Schumer cry, although they did look a little like fake tears, but hey, whatever. This is the one that everybody seems to be going nuts over, despite the fact that in October, according to this contract, he told them he was going to do it. He has suspended immigration from terror-prone regions for 120 days. He has given orders for them to come up with a review system considered extreme vetting and to let him know what countries aren't providing that information. He's going to give those countries, I believe it's 60 days, to start providing that information. If they do not start providing that information, he's not going to be letting people through. He promised he was going to do this. He is doing this. His supporters are cheering. His detractors are literally having themselves a cow over this. But this is what he promised. So we've gone through the majority of the things that he said would be done in the first 100 days have been done in the first, what, 10, 11 days? So I would say that he's off to a good start. I'll put all the links in the details at the bottom of this video. Head on over, read them for yourself, check them out. It is worth noting that quite a few of these things, the actions that he's taken, that he said he would take, there are legal challenges to already. I mean, Democrats from all over the place, the ACLU, people are challenging these things left and right. So I don't know how many of these he's going to have to reword, reissue, but the fact is he is trying to keep his promises. People are arguing against it and are trying to overturn them. What will eventually happen? I don't know, but it's all here for you to take a look at.